As Grant Cardone would say, who has my money? Welcome to the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets you own. And who has my money is such an important question because the money part is what seems to jam up so many people. I recently had a conversation with somebody who was saying, "Hey Hoan, I have a property and I need some money to buy more properties. What do I do?" And I was like, "Why don't you refinance?" And he had all these reasons why he didn't want to refinance, and that's all fine. And then I said, "Well, finally, how about private money?" And he says, "Well, how does that work?" And in this video, I'm going to break down how it works. This is going to be a good video for a lot of you guys because a lot of you have no idea how private money works. And I'm going to go over some of the questions that he asked me and questions that I often hear from people when I discuss raising private money. So the first question he asked was, if I raise the private money, how long do I hold the money for? And to answer that, I said, well, it's all a negotiation. These are people that you know privately. This is not a bank. This is not some kind of organization with all kinds of regulations. This is just somebody who has extra money that may be interested in lending it to you for a return. And that is a negotiation. Like I said, you guys can come up with whatever it is that you want. You can even say something crazy like, in the first month, I'll give you 1%. In the second month, I'll give you 2% interest. In the third month, I'll give you 3% interest. Like, nobody does that, but you can come up with whatever it is that you want. And if you need to borrow the money for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, so be it. It's up to you guys to uncover what terms work for both of you. Along that same thought process is, do I have to pay the interest up front? Can I pay the interest in quarters? Can I pay it all back when I pay back the loan? The answer is yes. You can do whatever it is that you want. Some people, they want their interest every single month. Some people don't care for their interest until the end. Maybe it's a 1-year loan and they say, look, just pay me all of the interest when you pay me back all of my principal. And that's fine. Whatever it is that you guys want to negotiate, negotiate. Sometimes people want to pay interest only. Sometimes you guys want to amortize it where it's interest and principal over time. Whatever it is that you want. But you as the borrower, make sure you know what terms work for you. This way, when you're presenting it to the lender, you can have it all laid out and say, hey, would you be interested in lending me money with these terms? And if they say yes, fantastic. You got exactly what you wanted. Another question that often comes up is, how much do I pay them? Well, again, negotiation, what do you pay them? Whatever you guys decide on. Currently, hard money is charging anywhere from 8 to 12%. You can borrow at the same rate that hard money is, or you can figure out something else. And the other thing that you can do with private money is you can allow them into your deal. You can actually bring them on as a partner and not just a lender. So there's a lot of different things you can do with private money. It's just up to you to know those different things so you can be as creative as possible. Here's the big one that really comes up all of the time. And it's, hey, Hoan, I hear what you're saying about the private money, but I don't have any friends with money. What do I do? Well, I'll put the question back to you. What do you think you do? If you don't have any friends with money to lend you, then how do you raise private money? The answer is simple. Find new friends. You got to go out there. You got to go network with other people. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of money and they're looking for their money to grow. And if you can prove that you are an operator that can make them money, make them return, then fantastic. Show them, demonstrate to them that you can do that. Now, where are these people? Where are these people, you ask? They are everywhere and they are nowhere. If you're not looking at the right places, if you just keep going to the same places all the time, you may not be able to find people that have the money to lend to you. So you might want to spread out a little bit, go out to different parts of the city that you've never been to, go to different meetups that you've never been to, join different organizations that you are currently not a part of, because that's where they are. That's where they are. You have to expand your circle to include more people. The question was, who has my money? Well, they're out there. You got to go find them. That's why the question is there. Who has it? Somebody out there. You have to go find them. Believe it or not, you might not even have to go anywhere at all. You could be home at your computer or on your phone, and you can go on social media and find private lenders that way as well. It just depends on who you are in the world. What is your brand? What are you recognized for? What are you known for? And if people start to see that you are a competent operator, somebody who can take their money and multiply their money, then they're going to want to give you their money. You might start getting the phone calls like, hey, I want you to borrow my money. It's as crazy as that sounds, it happens. People call me saying, Hoan, I need you to take my money. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want your money. I don't need your money right now because I don't have the deals for your money. So that's a problem of too much money. Some people have a problem of too much money where they don't know where to place it. But most people have that problem of not enough money. That's why you guys are watching videos like this. Now, the one thing I do want to caution you on is don't go out there trying to raise private money with this need where it's like, hey, I got deals and I want you to lend money to me. Like, don't seem too needy. What I want you to do when you're going out to these networking events, when you're going out to these other meetups, I want you to be this confident investor that is just talking about what you're up to. Don't make it seem like you need this money. You make it seem like you have your properties going on, your deals going on, and that maybe you'll be open to accepting their money in the deal. Maybe not this time, maybe next time, right? And you kind of want them to want to be in your deals versus you like, hey, I know you want to invest in this, right? Don't seem needy. That's a bad look, and I see a lot of people doing it, and it's just kind of like, do you know that you're actually repelling people when you do that? So I'm telling you guys this in the video. Don't seem too needy when you're trying to raise money. Just do your deals and just be a person. Just go out there and network. And maybe instead, right, here's a twist to it. Maybe instead of asking people about investing in your project and telling them all about your project, find out who they are and find out what they want. Look for a way to help them. And then this way, they might be interested in helping you in the future. But just go out there and be a regular person, not this like salesperson who's selling this opportunity to invest in your deal. Go out there, meet people, connect with them, get on the same page as them, just have a conversation, and then eventually you guys will have a relationship where they'll be like, hey, by the way, I see that you have all these deals going on. Would you be interested in me lending some money into your deal? Let it happen like that. You don't have to seem so needy, and you don't need to seem like a fundraiser, right? Because people run away from fundraisers. You want to be a person who attracts other people. So ask them what they have going on in their life, what they need help with. See how you can be of value to them first. And then maybe bring up the whole fundraising thing. Maybe ask them if they would like to invest in your deal. Now back to the logistics of it all. Let's assume that you've met people at different networking events and you created that real relationship with them. And then once you create that real relationship with them, they're interested in investing with you. Where did their money come from? Where is the money that they're going to lend you come from? Well, there's a couple of different places that they can lend money from. Of course, they can just give you the cash out of their checking account, right? But there is a self-directed IRA that you should be aware of. A self-directed IRA is a retirement account that is used for investing into different deals. So the self-directed, often called SDIRA, the self-directed part is what allows them to direct it into your project. They can lend you the money. They can be a partner in your deal. Their SDIRA, their self-directed IRA, could even own properties itself. How you do that is you take an old 401k and you roll it into your self-directed IRA. Self-directed IRA is held by a third-party company. It's kind of like your Vanguards and all, but these companies are specifically designed where they hold your money so that you can do investments like real estate and loans and things like that. Why I'm a fan of the self-directed IRA is because a lot of people have a 401k at their old job and then they can roll it over easily and they have a lot of money in there. A lot of times people put away money into a 401k and they never touch it, whereas in a checking account, they're using the checking account to pay bills and all that. So it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. But their savings in their 401k is often put in there and never touched, so it's just constantly growing, growing, growing. That money can be moved into a self-directed IRA if the person no longer works at that job. So if they're still working at their job, they might not be able to roll that money out into that self-directed IRA. If the person doesn't have a 401k, they could also create a self-directed IRA just from the start. You don't have to actually roll money in. You can make your contributions just like a regular IRA. So look up what the IRA contribution limits are every single year, but they can just put money into that every single year. The problem with that is if they're starting out now, and let's say the contribution limit $6,000. Well, there's only $6,000 in the account right now, and then next year they can put another $6,000 in. It's only 12. So you might want to have people who have an old 401k roll the money into the self-directed IRA. What's cool about knowing about that is that you can ask somebody about lending you money, and they might say to you, Hoan, I don't have any money. You can bring up the question, well, do you have a 401k at an old job? Did you used to work somewhere and you used to have a 401k? And they might say, yeah, I have this one that's just been sitting there. Perfect. That money, roll it over into self-directed IRA, and then they can lend the money to you from that self-directed IRA. So sometimes you have to create the lender that you need. People can be your lender, but they just don't realize that they can be because they assume they don't have money to lend to you. Now, you have to be careful when you're borrowing from a self-directed IRA because there are what's called prohibitive transactions. There are things you are not allowed to do, and if you do them, then you have the ability to liquidate their account and take away all of the retirement account benefits, like all of the tax savings and things like that. So make sure you learn all about the prohibitive transactions, such as you can borrow from family. It just depends on which family members. There are some you can borrow from and some you can't borrow from. And if you are caught borrowing from ones you're not supposed to, again, you could liquidate their account and cause them to pay penalties and pay all of the taxes, and you take away all of the tax benefits from that account. So again, be very careful when using a self-directed IRA because you have the possibility of destroying someone's retirement. So make sure you have that knowledge before you take action. Ultimately, when it comes to private money, there is money everywhere. It's up to you as the borrower, up to you as the investor to know what kind of private money exists, where that money's coming from, how to borrow it, and also how to attract it. There's so much to talk about, but I didn't want this video to be an hour long, so I'm keeping it short here. Go out there, start networking, and like I said earlier, just find out what people are interested in, what it is that they're up to, and how you can be of service to them, not just how can they be of service to you. Create that real relationship, and before you know it, you'll have a ton of people who are interested in lending you the money that you need. In the spirit of what I just said, if you guys like this video, the video that I just offered you for free with a ton of value, if you like this video, then hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe to the Hoan Zone because I release new videos every Monday and Wednesday to show you guys how to multiply the assets you own. All right, I will see you in the next video. Peace.